In every corner of the planet, from the Olympic stadiums to neighborhood streets, the swoosh logo is more than just a mark. It is a symbol of speed, ambition, creativity, and the unstoppable human spirit. But Nike wasn't always a global giant. It started with a handshake, a beat-up car filled with running shoes, and two men who believed they could change sports forever. This is the story of Nike, a journey that begins long before the world knew the phrase. Just do it. Scene. Early life of Phil Knight. Our story begins with Phil Knight, a shy but determined middle-distance runner from Portland, Oregon. As a college athlete at the University of Oregon, Knight trained under legendary coach Bill Bowerman, a man obsessed with making his athletes faster. Bowerman didn't just coach runners. He experimented. He cut shoes apart, glued them back together, adjusted soles, stitched new materials, all in pursuit of the perfect running shoe. Phil admired that obsession. He shared it. The birth of an idea after graduating business school at Stanford. Knight wrote a paper proposing that Japanese running shoes could challenge German brands like Adidas and Puma. At the time, this was a radical idea, but Phil Knight believed Japan could make shoes that were better and cheaper. In 1962, he flew to Japan, walked into a small shoe factory called Onitsuka Tiger, and convinced them he could sell their shoes in America. He had no company, no employees, no warehouse. Only a dream. Still, Onitsuka agreed. And Blue Ribbon Sports was born. Scene. The birth of a company. Knight returned to the U.S. and began selling Tiger running shoes out of the trunk of his car at track meets. His first employee, his former coach Bill Bowerman. Bowerman wasn't just a partner. He was the company's secret weapon. Every athlete he coached became faster. Scene. The waffle iron revolution. One morning in 1971, Bowerman stared at his wife's waffle iron. He imagined the pattern on the sole of a running shoe. He poured rubber into the waffle iron, destroyed the kitchen, but created one of the most innovative soles in running history. The waffle. Blue Ribbon Sports was no longer just a distributor. It was ready to become something much bigger. Scene. A new identity in 1971. A conflict erupted between Blue Ribbon Sports and Onitsuka. Knight decided it was time to create their own brand. They needed a name, a symbol, a new beginning. A friend suggested the name Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. It was short, memorable, and powerful. Graphic design student Carolyn Davidson was paid $35 to design the logo that would become the most recognizable symbol in sports. She called it the swoosh, representing movement, speed, and flight. The first Nike shoe. Nike released its first shoe, the Nike Cortez, during the 1972 Olympics. It became an instant success. A revolution was starting. The world just didn't know it yet. Scene. Nike's marketing genius. Unlike other companies, Nike didn't just sell products. They sold the idea of pushing human limits. They signed top runners like Steve Prefontaine, a fearless athlete whose attitude matched the brand's rebellious nature. Prefontaine became the face of Nike, raw, bold, and unapologetic. Scene. Expanding into sports in the late 70s and early 80s, Nike wasn't just a running company anymore. It expanded into basketball, tennis, training, football, lifestyle wear, but Nike needed something more. A superstar, a global icon, and then he arrived. Scene. 1984. A deal that changed everything in 1984. A rookie named Michael Jordan entered the NBA. Nike saw something others didn't. Jordan originally wanted Adidas, but Nike made a bold pitch, a custom line of shoes, a signature brand, and marketing unlike anything seen before. The Air Jordan revolution. The Air Jordan 1 shattered the league's uniform rules. The NBA banned the shoe, but Nike turned that into a marketing gold mine. Banned by the NBA, loved by the people, sales exploded. Nike went from a growing brand to a cultural phenomenon. Air Jordan wasn't just a shoe. Seen the making of a slogan in 1988, Nike launched one of the greatest advertising campaigns in history. 3 words, just do it. Inspired by the idea that anyone, it was universal, emotional, timeless. Nike's sales skyrocketed. The company now dominated the sports world. Seen the Nike Air revolution, Nike wasn't just marketing, it was innovation. The Nike Air technology grew into a family. Air Max, Air Trainer, Air Force One, Vapor Max, Zoom Air. The Air Max One, with its visible air bubble, redefined athletic footwear. Seen Flyknit, React, and more. In the 2000s and 2010s, Nike introduced Flyknit, lightweight woven uppers, Lunarlon foam, Nike React cushioning, self-lacing adapt technology. Nike proved innovation was in its DNA. Seen the Nike icons. Nike became synonymous with greatness because it partnered with greatness. Michael Jordan, the global icon, Tiger Woods, redefining golf, Serena Williams, a power and dominance, Cristiano Ronaldo, speed and passion, LeBron James, the new era of basketball, Kobe Bryant, the Mamba legacy, Rafael Nadal, unstoppable, Simone Biles, the pinnacle of athleticism. These partnerships didn't just promote Nike, they shaped modern sports. Seen Nike streetwear revolution. Nike shoes moved beyond athletics. They became fashion, identity, and culture. The rise of sneaker culture turned models like Air Force One, Air Max 90, and Air Jordan 11 into global icons. Collaborations with Off-White, Travis Scott, Sacai, Stussy, Dior transformed Nike into the king of streetwear. Nike wasn't just influencing sports, it was influencing the world. Seen the Nike modern era today, Nike is valued at tens of billions of dollars. With stores in nearly every country, digital apps, sustainable materials, and the most influential athlete roster in history, Nike remains the global leader in sportswear. But at its core, the company is still driven by the same spirit that started it all: a runner with a dream, a coach with a waffle iron, and a belief that every person can rise higher, run faster, and push beyond what they thought was possible. Finally, because greatness isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn, and sometimes just do it. Please like the video and subscribe the channel.